What is a crime? Hello friends, this is Jeff Maddox, and today we're going to talk about what is a crime.
Whatever purpose you need to be necessary and proper for your fellow slaves on this collective plantation.
Mr. Maddox, we won't use words like steal when we're a government body. Judgment. Thank you very much. But with that, we moved up. Jeff Maddox. Mr. Maddox.
Please, Massa, please do not rob me anymore. Massa, please let me keep the fruits of my labor on your plantation. Massa, please.
Today, with thousands, hundreds of thousands of pages of laws and regulations and dictates to us, there seems to be a loss of what is really a crime. I think for most of us, we understand that murder, rape, fraud, and theft are crimes. Why? What do these things have in common? Every single one of these does harm to an individual. So, a crime is harm to an individual or his property. Theft. Stealing somebody's lawnmower. Stealing somebody's money. That is harm to an individual. That constitutes a crime. What other things would constitute a crime? Harming an individual. What would those things be? Something like maybe arson, purposely burning somebody's property, causing harm. Maybe walking up to somebody that you don't like and punching them in the face, breaking their nose. That'd be harm, wouldn't it? That'd be assault. So, physical harm to somebody is a crime. Stealing somebody's property or defrauding them out of their property is also a crime. I don't know what it is. Poking somebody in the eye. Elements of a crime. There are three elements that must be present for a crime to be committed and prosecuted. First, there has to be damage. Damage to person or property. And we're not talking about damage to your own self or your own property that you do, but damage to another person's property. Then of course you have to have a complaint. Or somebody that says, he damaged my person, he attacked me, he killed my son, he did something to my person or my property, he burnt my barn down, he stole my lawnmower, something like that. He's got the complaint. And then he's got to have witnesses. And in this case, the complainant cannot be the witness. So, elements of a crime. We know that a crime is damage to a person or property, so that has to be present. That's the first thing. Then you have to have a complaint, and that can be made by that person that's damaged. And they've got to have witnesses. Like going to court, where you have multiple witnesses. Those three things have to be present to be prosecuted. Breach of contract, you have to have witnesses to the breach of contract. So the elements of a crime are three things: damage to person or property, complaint, and witnesses. The elements of a crime are the basis of common law. Now, we all heard that term. Do we know what that means? That means it's common. It's common law. Everybody kind of agrees on it. And that's the basis of it, because it makes only common sense to somebody who thinks critically. That in order for a crime to have been committed, what is a crime? Without even writing it down, you know that it's crime. Well, murder, fraud, defrauding somebody, theft, those kind of things. But today, anything can become a crime. Anything can be a crime. Look at what's a crime now. It's a crime to go fishing without a license. It's a crime to drive without a license. It's a crime to speed. It's a crime to build without a license, without a permission slip. It's a crime not to pay your taxes. You can think of hundreds, if not thousands of things that are a crime today. And why is that? Why are these things crimes today when common sense tells you they're not?
Purpose you deem to be necessary
Mr. Maddox.
and proper
Mr.
for
Maddox.
your fellow slaves
Mr.
on this
Maddox.
collective plantation.
Mr. Maddox, we won't use words like steal when we're at a government body. And so with that, we move to the next item.
Mr. Chairman, if I may,
Yeah.
I need a point of order for clarification.
Yes.
I don't enjoy being called a thief. I don't enjoy saying I steal. But I think the public has a right to get up here and speak before us and do it somewhat freely as long as they're not attacking individuals personally. Mr. DeVos.
Fellow slaves
Mr.
on this
Maddox.
collective plantation.
Mr. Maddox, we won't use words like steal, maintain order, and order. Make a judgment call. Thank you very much. With that, we move to Jeff Maddox. Mr. Maddox.
Please, Massa. Massa, please do not rob me anymore. Massa, please let me keep the fruits of my labor on your plantation. Massa, please.